Howdy folks, hope you're all having a good one, and welcome back to World of Tanks with the mighty Jingles. This, in the American Tier 5 heavy premium tank, the T-14, is Pancake. He finds himself in a Tier 5 encounter battle here on the Pilsen map. You know, this is the very first premium tank that I ever bought in World of Tanks. Many years ago. At the time, I didn't have anything higher than Tier 4. A lot of people will pick one tank line, focus on it, and just grind away down. I never did that. I played everything. So I'd been playing for a couple of weeks, and I still didn't have anything higher than Tier 4. And I was sick and tired of getting shot up. Not realising, of course, that the reason I was getting shot up was because I just didn't understand the game mechanics. It wasn't anything to do with the tanks that I was driving. Well, maybe it was a little bit to do with the tanks that I was driving, but I thought to myself, I'm tired of getting shot up, I'll get myself a heavy tank. What's available in the premium shop? And there it was, the T-14. And I thought, yes, I am now a heavy tank driver. I am invincible. Anybody who actually owns the T-14 is probably laughing their asses off right now, because this tank is awful. It's customary at this point in the video for me to start quoting the good points and the bad points about a tank. And I'm going to quote directly from this tank's own World of Tanks wiki page. Oh, hang on a second. Oh, you don't want to be backing up when you've just got your tracks blown off. Alright. Pancake got a little bit of extra damage in there, thank you for that. And bear in mind, of course, this is a Tier 5 maximum game, so probably a lot of these players have only been playing for a very short period of time. But Pancake gets his first kill. Nice. So anyway, yes, good points and bad points. Let's list the good points, because this won't take long. And remember, this is from this tank's own World of Tanks wiki page. The T-14 gets premium matchmaking. Useful, considering its subpar gun. And that's it. We're already done with listing the good points about this tank, and even that mentions how shit the gun is. Right. Oh, hang on, he's gotten himself another kill already with this really not very good gun. But then again, if you're going to get your tracks blown off, poked halfway around a corner with your turret around the other side of whatever it is that you're poking around and unable to fire back, you kind of have to expect that to happen. So he's got his team's first 2 kills. Nicely done, considering the tank he's driving. Although it does get premium matchmaking, which means it will only ever see Tier 6. But honestly, if this tank ever had to fight Tier 7s, it would be enough to drive you to drink. So let's list the bad things about this tank. And remember, even the one good thing that the wiki had to say about this tank mentioned how bad its gun was. That's because the gun has terrible accuracy, poor penetration, which of course is why he's thrusting his hand deep into his pocket and spamming the gold here and getting himself his 3rd kill in the process. This gun, without gold ammunition, will really struggle against other Tier 5 heavies and even, well, quite a few of the Tier 4s, which it's going to be facing most of the time. The hull traverse is bad, the turret traverse is bad, all of which goes to make flanking in this thing extremely risky, and the armour is, well, there's no really other way to put it. The armour is dog shit. Right? I mean, on paper, the turret front isn't too bad, but the gun mantlet's pathetic. The frontal hull armour isn't great, and it is sloped, but there's a glaring weak spot in the shape of the machine gun port, which only has 53mm of armour and can be penetrated by, well, everything. The side armour above the skirts is paper thin. I mean, this is not a well-armoured tank at all. But since at the moment, most people seem to be firing at his turret from a range of more than 100 metres, I mean, it is actually holding up reasonably well, although I think that's more through luck than judgment. But this isn't even a tank that you can effectively angle well, because the armour is just that bad. But this gun... Okay, he's got a KV-1SA and a T-34 right on the other side of our wall. Now, these are 2 tanks that he's going to struggle to damage, even with his premium ammunition. Unfortunately for him, the T-34 appears to know what he's doing. You can see he's trying to get that sort of angled cheek plate, but his shots are just going into the side armour and doing 0 damage. Here comes the KV-1SA. Fortunately, he does have an ally behind him who's discouraging these guys from getting any braver than they already are. The problem here, of course, is you can't just sit on the other side of this wall not damaging any tanks while the enemy team are ahead by a kill and are in the process of capping. Oh, he finally gets a shot on target there through the T-34's cheek armour, which is not angled when you're angling the tank, and, you know, honestly, I'm kind of surprised that his armour is holding up as well as it is. Oh dear, he's set the KV-1SA on fire. Is he too cheap to pack a fire extinguisher? He is. The enemy team is still camping, so he's going to have to deal with this T-34 fast. Oh, he trolled him into shooting and missing. See, he's still not really putting his armour to the test here. Not if he can possibly help it. He's manoeuvring the tank. Which, you know, to be fair, probably really should be listed as one of this tank's good features. Or rather, its other good feature, along with its premium matchmaking. As heavy tanks go, it's reasonably nimble. It doesn't have an amazing top speed, but it's got a power-to-weight ratio of 15 horsepower per ton. And there are some medium tanks that don't get that. So, yeah, let's at least say that the mobility isn't completely terrible. Enemy capture progress is not being interrupted though, and I mean, he clearly wants to get into that cap circle, but he equally clearly does not want to expose the flanks of this thing to any kind of incoming fire in order to do it. So he takes care of the threat to the flank. That was his top gun, by the way. And there it is. It is the Panzer IV-H. This could be tricky, actually. I mean, he's going hull down to try to make maximum possible use of his turret. It's just that his turret is kind of shit. Anyway, cap reset. Panzer IV-H killed. Let's get the hell out of here. We're getting shot at. The T-14 does not like getting shot at. Did I mention that this thing does actually exist, by the way? It's not a paper tank. I think I mentioned it, but I didn't go into detail. This was a joint Anglo-American heavy tank construction project. They made two prototypes, one for the British, one for the Americans. They didn't like it. For all kinds of very good reasons. Wow, look at how shit this gun is. He's bouncing off artillery. How many shots did that take? One of these tanks does still exist. It's at the Tank Museum in Bovington. The American version, I think, was at the Aberdeen Proving Grounds, and it's gone. They don't put it on display, though. They have a T-14, the only surviving example of this tank left in the world. Only two of which were ever made, and only one of which still exists. And it's tucked away in the Vehicle Conservation Centre, which I think they only allow the public in to see twice a year. You know what? Screw this gun. Ramming speed. There we go. Fortunately, the artillery was happy to oblige. I mean, he could have just sat there bouncing shots from this shitty, god-awful gun all day, but no, he chose to ram the T-14 as the T-14 chose to ram him, so he's dead, and that's good. That just leaves one enemy tank. Oh, and I think you know where he is. Well, I mean, he knows exactly where we are. He's shooting at us. And this armour is terrible. But at least Pancake knows where he's shooting from. There he is. Firing on the move with this gun and hitting. Inconceivable. Wow, twice. Quick, Pancake, go out and buy a lottery ticket before your luck runs out. Oh, and there it is. Yeah, but still, 2 out of 3 shots with a .46 accuracy gun firing up 3 out of 4 shots with the .46 accuracy gun fired on the move at a moving target. Pancake, stop what you're doing, go out now, buy a lottery ticket. Because you are never going to have luck like that again. Certainly not in this machine. Look at that. Ace Tanker. Radley Walters medal, Top Gun, steel wall in the T-14. Are you even allowed to do that? I'm fairly sure getting a steel wall in the T-14 probably violates the game's terms of service somewhere, but, well, he did it. High caliber. And defender. Sorry, I'm still giggling at the high caliber. High caliber with this gun. Pancake, regarding my earlier advice about going out and buying a lottery ticket, don't do that. Buy 2. This is a truly, truly awful tank. And he's done 4,000 damage with this gun. In the T-14. At Tier 5. There are Tier 10 tank drivers looking at that damage done and thinking, shit, if only I could pull that off every time I go into battle. Holy shit. And yeah, he did fire a lot of gold ammo. And it did cost him 117,000 credits to resupply that ammo after the battle. But even the gold ammo on this thing is kind of shit. I mean, it was bouncing off artillery. He had a 50-50 penetration chance at the front of a Panzer IV-H, which is just a medium at point-blank range. And yeah, okay, he switched to standard ammo to shoot at the artillery. He thought, it's just artillery, I don't need gold for that. Yeah, actually, maybe you did. Now, if he'd been running a standard account, he would have actually lost money on that battle, because of course he would have. He spent 117,000 credits on ammo. But he does not run a standard account, so he actually made a nearly 30,000 credit profit. In that completely unlikely display of a T-14 being the one doing the stomping rather than the one getting stomped. Did I mention you should buy a lottery ticket, Pancake? Buy a few, spread it around a bit just to hedge your bets. So, yeah. Wow, that actually happened. It'll probably never happen again. So remember where you were when you saw it. Tell your grandkids. Anyway, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed it. And as always, take care, and I'll catch you next time.